good morning, and afternoon to all. On behalf of the glamorous women of Gamma Pyro Lupus Sorority Incorporated, we would like to welcome you all today for our June Advocacy and Awareness Educational event. We would like to personally thank you for logging on today and spending time with us. We hope that everyone is doing their best and feeling as well as possible. And now, it brings me great pleasure to present to you an amazing 15-year lupus survivor, former model, and entrepreneur. She is the proud owner of Live.Love.Juice here in East Point, Georgia. I met this wonderful spirit a few years ago at the Lupus Foundation of America, Georgia chapter walk kickoff. I'm sorry, guys, walk kickoff. She was a guest speaker, and I was so intrigued by her story. It was just captivating to understand how everyone's story is different. So I'll let her tell you guys about her story. But I met her through the kickoff, and then I also saw her on Fox 5 doing an interview. Her business is thriving, and she continues to stay positive. She does her social media presence and her Monday mantras. So you guys make sure you check that out because it's very inspirational and we all can use a good word throughout the day. She has a passion for living her best life. She's trying to be healthy and happy, and she's definitely willing to share her story with us today. So without further ado, Gamma Pyro Lupus Sorority Incorporated would like to welcome Ms. Antonette Currie. Say it and believe it.
Thank you. Well, hi everyone. I'm Antoinette Bird Currie. Like she said, I'm a lupus warrior. I was diagnosed in 2007. I was 22 at the time. And yeah, like thank you, Rosalind. Like she keeps saying, like I continue to live my life. Happy, healthy, and whole. That's one thing that I stand by because I feel like no disease should stop you from living the life that you want to live. And I decided to take control of my life. After being diagnosed at such a young age, it was like a rude awakening because it's like, okay, I don't know what's going on with my body. For me to be so young and athletic and do all the things that, I used to do, and then you get hit with such a life-threatening and cruel disease, it's like, where do you go from here? But I chose not to, even though I went through depression for about 2 years after I got diagnosed because I had ended up losing all my hair. To where I am now, I just decided not to, let it take over my life. And so since then, of course, I've had plenty of ups and downs with lupus, in and out of the hospital. Just one of the life-threatening ones I had was episodes that I've had was in 2018 when I was diagnosed with the pulmonary embolism on my right lung. And I would definitely say like that was the worst of the worst. And that was one time that I just really, truly wanted to just give up because it's like, you're getting tired of going through the same thing over and over again. It's like, you're okay at one point, and then all of a sudden something so life-threatening just attacks you. It's like, okay, like I'm done. I'm tired of it. I just want to give up. And that's where I was. And then I learned, that affirmations and just reassuring yourself and having that faith, bringing that faith back that you have in God, that, he can heal everything. So I started when I was in the hospital bed, I started thinking to myself, like, wait, I know who I am. I'm like, why am I giving up? And I was like, I got so many people out here that's watching me or that's like, like, hey, if she can do it, I can do it. So I'm like, okay, I got to fight for myself. So I just started speaking affirmations and, reassuring myself that I am okay, I'm strong, and I can get through this. And I ended up getting out of the hospital. And since then, it's been about, I would say, well, before then, it's been about 5 years and I'm in remission. And I'm 100% natural. I don't take any vitamins at all. well, I mean, any certain vitamins, any medications at all. I only take vitamins and herbs and other supplements. So yeah, so since then I travel, have fun, and I just live life because like I said before, it's like if you continue to, be depressed or say that you can't do certain things or don't feel like getting up or getting out the bed, like that's when the disease really will take over your body and it's just gonna be the end. So it's like you have to choose to live, to fight. Like really, I know it's a mental thing because it really is, especially being, diagnosed, even not just with lupus, with anything else that's like life threatening. I know it could be a lot, but it's like you just gotta find that strength within yourself to keep on and keep fighting.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what type of lupus do you have?
So when I first got diagnosed, I had discoid lupus, and then I ended up getting systemic. And then also, this is a new one. This was I want to say about 2015. I ended up having lupus panniculitis, and that's what caused the scarring on my face. Um, which lupus panniculitis is basically like the hardness under your skin and fat tissues, loss of fat tissue. So when I first got diagnosed with it, like I had hardness under my skin, so they did a biopsy and they determined that it was lupus panniculitis. And then, dealing with that, since you lose fat in your face, that's what happened to me. And there's like I lose fat in different areas of my body, like my arms, my back, my left breast. So there's like different areas where it just like looks like a little sunken in. And I ended up getting a scar because the dermatologist ended up putting steroid injections in my face, in which I found out from my rheumatologist that he wasn't supposed to do that. So that's the reason why the scarring came.
Oh, okay. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that. Thank you for
hmm
sharing that. I know you said that you were a model before, so I can imagine
hmm
how that affected you mentally, but you made your way through.
Yeah, definitely in 2015. I keep going back to them because that's when I was in the well, I was still modeling then, but that's when it started attacking my face. And I was actually in Ellie Tahari and Phipps Plaza because I was a fashion store manager, you might as well say, a high-end store manager in Phipps Plaza. And so when that started attacking my face, a lot of people in there, and that's more so of a client-driven store. So it's like you really like are one-on-one with your customers. So a lot of customers will come in, they'll just ask questions like, what happened to your face? Did you get in a car accident? Did you, was it a tattoo? And I just get a lot of little stares and stuff like that. So of course, it's like it set me back to when I was 22. So it's like I'm looking in the mirror and I'm looking at this face and I'm like, okay, this is not my face. So yes, I did go through, that phase again when I didn't want to take pictures, videos, or anything like that because I didn't want to see me. I didn't want to see myself because I didn't love myself because I didn't like how I looked. Then, like I said, it's just you gotta, you gotta find that fight within yourself and just know that, you are beautiful and it's not all about your outside appearance, it's like your inner beauty. So I found that again and I embraced every part of me.
I understand. I understand. I know so many of us find out we have lupus because sometimes those lesions will appear and it's like, wait a minute, what's going on with my skin? I remember my first episode where I had so many lesions and it was like, wait a minute, my face looked like somebody had beat me up. And it was like, what's going on? But I was so embarrassed. I used to volunteer at my daughter's school.
hmm
And kids can be, very,
Yeah.
very harsh,
Yeah.
and some adults,
Yeah.
you get the stares and everything. And it was just like I just found myself shrinking and not being the person, who I knew I was just because
Right.
of the lesions all on my face and all over my body and stuff like that. But, we pressed on and we continue to move on and we continue to find the joy in ourselves, knowing that we are so much better than our outer
Yeah.
appearance.
Yes. And that's very important. It's very important.
You said that you eat healthy. So are you a vegan or?
So I'm not 100% vegan.
Okay.
I would like to go back to being vegan and plant-based. Yeah, that's something I'm still working on within myself, but I do eat healthy. Like everything in my house is all natural, it's all vegan. We don't buy like meat and stuff like that, or dairy. Like everything in the house is vegan. But like, when we step out and do a little date night and stuff like that, we'll eat what we want to eat. But that's what I want to preach to people, is like about everything is all in moderation. So it's like, since you brought that up, I did want to say that, like, I know we deal with flare-ups and things like that. And the only way that we can stop those flare-ups is by eating things that are anti-inflammatory. So basically, if we stay away from the dairies, the milk, the pastas, and breads and like meat, and then we welcome vegetables and vegetables and fruit or anything that's of light into our bodies, like we can begin to heal, because lupus isn't nothing but inflammation. That's all it is. It's all inflammation. And if you rid your body of inflammation and mucus, then diseases and illness can't live in it. So after learning that from going to Dr. Sadie's Usha Village, yeah. So
Oh wow, wait a minute. You just can't run past that. You did what?
So yeah, and it's crazy. Actually in 2016, so a year after my face, I decided to go to Dr. Sadie's Usha Village in Honduras. And I stayed down there, and that's how I learned actually some of the herbs and supplements that I carry. The products that I carry on Live.Love.Juice is actually from Honduras. Like I learned all that. And well, I did some more research on our other herbs and stuff that's really good for us or anybody that wants to be healthy. And just learning all that and just being reconnected with myself. And, I met a lot of people out there that were on kind of like the same health journey as me. And, it was just an eye opener. So that's when I brought all the products that I've learned and brought them to Live.Love.Juice. So that's where it's at now. But anyways, so just learning about things that cause inflammation within the body. And if you just rid that, like that's, I guess, I want to say, I guess, that's how I am today. And I'm able to be in remission. So.
Okay. So you don't take any medications for lupus?
No.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. I used to take when I was, when I did have the pulmonary embolism, I was on blood thinner. And I was on that for a while. And it was so funny because I go back and forth with my doctors, and I know they'd be like, girl, just listen to me. But they trust me. And that's what I love. You have to have that connection with your doctor where you guys have that trust for one another. And I remember telling my doctor, I'm like, just give me 30 days. If it doesn't work what I'm trying to do, just put me back on medication. I promise I'll take it. And it ended up working. But having that relationship with your doctor to the point that they trust you, like, okay, I'm gonna see what you do and stuff like that. But no, I was on blood thinners, and I forgot the first one I was on. Whatever blood thinner that I was on first, like you can't have that vitamin K. So that's like your leafy greens. And I'm like, that's my everything. Like I love leafy greens. So I was back and forth with them about that. Then they took me off, and then the rheumatologist was like, no, I really want you back on there because since I have what is it called? I always pronounce it wrong. Antiphospholipid antibodies. And that is where I'm prone to miscarriages and blood clots. So, with them being scared, like, I don't know, you just had this life-threatening when you know he was gonna make it. I kind of don't want to, have you switch to this other blood thinner. But, and now, I mean, she doesn't know that I'm off it, but now, I did my research and I noticed, and did my research and I figured out what type of vitamins or supplements I can take that is a blood thinner, a natural blood thinner. And that would be like sea moss or bladderwrack. So it's a natural anticoagulant. So I rather let me just pour all that and put all that in my system and then just wean myself off these blood thinners.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's so fascinating to hear lupus warriors say how they don't take any medicine. And then you have some of us, and it's just like, oh, I take 10, 12, 13 pills a day. So it just goes to show you how everyone's lupus is different. We all
Yep.
have a different, aspect of trying to get through it because it's not healed. So we're just trying
Right.
to get through it. Yeah.
Right.
I did try the sea moss
Mhm.
and I really like doing that. I know some people say the taste and everything,
Mhm.
but I don't know if it was in my mind or not, but I did, feel differently. I did. And I remember I was so excited because I was taking that. We were doing
Mhm.
smoothies, and then I would like just take a spoonful in the
Yep.
morning. And then I did try your bladder rock
Bladder.
bladder tablets and
Mhm.
capsules. And it was one more. It was one more. I have to bring the bottle out. But I was so excited because I was like, oh, had me some slutty vegan and stuff. And I'm like, I'm doing my thing. And then I went to the doctor, and with me having third stage renal failure, chronic kidney disease, he
Mhm.
was like, oh no, you can't take the sea moss. Don't do the sea moss because it has so much salt in it and it's going to make your kidneys work harder and it's just going to do more damage than it does good. But I tend to keep hearing that. The more healthy I am, and I know the doctors will say what they want to say because they're in the business of,
Right.
making sure we stay on this medication. But I
Right.
do hear that a lot, and not just from the doctors, but the more good we try and put in our body, it actually does harm to us. Have you ever heard that before?
So I have heard it just depends on just like with medication. This is
Mhm.
how I'm gonna put it. So just like with medication, okay, so you have medication here and then you have your vitamins, herbs, supplements, whatever. Everything natural over here, right?
Okay.
So it's like steroids, right? So I'm taking steroids. Okay, no flare ups. It's suppressing the issue, no inflammation, but guess what? It's gonna cause this problem,
Hmm.
this problem, and hip replacement. Okay, on this we have all things natural. Okay, I'm taking things natural, but over time, it's all about how much you're taking.
Hmm.
Doses, doses. So it's about how much you're taking. No, all things. Keep in mind, nature always wins. These are things of the earth, so it's always gonna win. But you have to, and I think we discussed this. You have to know what you're putting in your body. I don't believe we do enough research. We leave it to the doctors. And like I
Right.
said to you before, like the doctors don't know what's going on until you tell them what's going on. But it's
Right.
important to you because this is your body. You have to take care of your body. No one else can take care of it but you. So if you continue to do your research on the illness I have, the disease I have, these herbs or vitamins that I want to take, and also the chemicals, the medicines that they're giving you too. And I'm not saying you need to go natural. I'm not saying that at all because sometimes the medication does work for people. Everybody's different. But what you can do is mix the two. But then, you have to figure out how much of this to take and how much of this to take. But that's up for you to do your research. That's if you really want to be in tune with your body. And that's another thing that I preach to people. Like it's very important to be in tune with your body. Like you have to know, like, okay, like now today I am sick, I'm tired, like I'm drained, my body's telling me to rest. Listen to your
Hmm.
body. You have to listen to it. And I feel like us and I'm not even just saying people with illness, like, but even us as African American, Black people, we don't listen, we're not in tune with ourselves. And
Okay.
these are like discussions that we don't talk about amongst our community as well as like health. And then it's like, I hate that we're so quick to run to the next pill or something like that just to stop the pain yeah, when you go natural, you have to trust the process because it is a long process. But keep in mind, like every 30 days, your cells regenerate. So if you're feeding your body some vegetables, vitamins and herbs, or even taking your medication, but still feeding your body vitamins and herbs, like all those 30 days, your cells are going to rejuvenate. So what you're going to start feeling, like you just said, you don't know if it was mental, but that's a good thing. That's a good mental thought. Your thoughts carry energy. So, if you're saying these things and you're doing all these things to make your body heal, then, no sickness or disease can live in there. So, yeah, I know a lot of people say that, but it's really about doing the research and knowing how much doses you can take. So like even with the steroids, I know that CMOS and Bladderwrack, those two mixed together, that's like your steroid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like your
Okay.
steroid. 'Cause I haven't had a flare up in years. Like I don't. The only time that I have issues is like my joints when it rains. When it rains or if it's cold, like my
Okay.
knees, my knees and my elbows, whew, they ache.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, that's the only time I have any issues or whatever. But yeah, that's what I learned. I learned that hey, CMOS and Bladderwrack it's your steroid.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
saying that. Thank you for saying that. Yes, it's always a struggle with, oh, the doctor said, and oh, but this is, what's going on, and it's helping so many people. So thank you so much for explaining that, how people should deal with it, how
Mhm.
they, can manage it. Um, so I'm glad to hear that you're not taking any medication. And you said that when you were at Dr. Sadie's, you
Mhm.
decided with your healing, you decided to share that with the world. You mentioned that you have Live.Love.Juice here in East Point, Georgia.
Yes.
Tell us about your store.
Okay. Well, I found yeah, I started Live.Love.Juice in what 2006. Was it 2006? No, I'm lying. I'm sorry. It was 2016. Oh gosh, 2016. I started Live.Love.Juice, and that was the same year that I went to Dr. Sadie's Usha Village, and I just was really inspired. Like, I wish I would have stayed over there longer, but
Mhm.
I was working at the time, but I ended up coming back and quitting my job. But um, so,
Okay.
anyways, so yeah, I started in 2016, and I just knew all those vitamins and herbs that I was taking over there was helping me. So I was like, let me just really dig into this. And so I just started doing history, more research on different herbs that will help the body heal, that will help with like any issues that I was having, that I know that will help other people too. And it's not even about people that are sick. It's about, just want to live a healthier lifestyle. And since 2006, I've been up blossoming, it's been thriving. So I'm really thankful for that. I've been at in East Point for about 3 years now with the business. I'm also online too, but you can pick up on Saturdays at the storefront if you want to, but ship everywhere.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
ship everywhere. So yeah, I'm just really thankful for Live.Love.Juice, because I know that it's helping a lot of people, and I'm getting a lot of good reviews on the products that I carry. So I'm really happy to see that. So I believe that's my purpose here on earth. Is to be of service to people. So I'm thankful for that.
As you should be, as you should be. Yes. She has a lot of great products on her website if you guys want to take a look at that. Um, are there any questions? Do you guys have any questions for Miss Antoinette? If there's anyone on here would like to ask her anything in regards to her illness, because she does have a specific lupus that I wasn't familiar of, so I appreciate you
Mhm.
sharing that with us. Or if you have a question about, which I'm just amazed with her going to the actual village. I mean, how many people can say that? Um, and also anything about her products, or, oh, that's a question that I
Mhm.
have. What do you take every day? Like, what would you take every day? Or what
Okay,
do you
so
take every
I take Ooh, I know it seems like I take a whole bunch, but I do. So I have a pack on there. It's a vitamin pack, and it's called Rejuvenate. And Rejuvenate has sea moss in there. These are capsules. It has
Okay.
sea moss, bladderwrack, burdock root, turmeric, and vegan omega-3. All those things are good for your overall health and well-being. And burdock root, it helps with your iron. Sea moss, bladderwrack, sea moss and bladderwrack, it helps with ridding, joint pain, inflammation. And sea moss is 92 out of 102 minerals that the body is made of. So you might as well call that your alkaline multivitamin. So I definitely need that. Turmeric is really good for inflammation too and joint pain too. And then you have your vegan omega-3. So that helps with your hair, skin, and nails. So I take that. I believe in herbal teas. So I take
Okay.
dandelion. I take, what else kind of tea? I take yarrow tea. Yarrow tea is really good. It's a herbal tea too. It's really good for women, especially when they're on their menstrual cycle. It's really good for them because it helps with like the bloating and cramping. So
Okay.
if you haven't heard about yarrow, get into yarrow. That's really good.
Mm,
I take mullein tea. Mullein's really good for your lungs.
okay.
I'm trying to think what else I take. Yeah, I mean, I guess overall, I take the sea moss gel, of course. Overall, yeah, that's about the main things I take. If I'm cleansing, I'll take a few other vitamins that help with like your digestive system and things like that. But black seed oil is always a good must-have for inflammation and just mucus. It's full of a lot of antioxidants, so that's really good to have on your shelf always,
Okay.
always,
Okay.
especially for
And
cold and flu season.
okay. And these are products that we can find on your website?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So for those who do not know, can you please tell us where to find you and how to find you?
Yes. So as far as my business, it's going to be the Instagram is live.Love.Juice underscore.
Mhm.
And the website is Live.Love.Juice.net. My personal Instagram is love underscore BYRD. So on that page, you're just gonna see me living. You're gonna see, you may see a couple hashtags that say Lupus Warrior because I'm trying to show you guys that we can still live and press on. So you'll just see
Mhm.
a lot of, happiness and just things that are of me. So,
Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you.
hmm
Yes, we had a question about your website address. So I hope you was able to receive that information, but we will be posting that as well after our discussion. So was there any questions? I know I jumped in, but was there any questions? Did anybody have anything that they wanted to ask Miss Antonette today? Okay, okay. Well, I have
I
enough.
have a question, Chandra. Um,
Okay, okay. Hello,
Yay!
this is Autumn. This is our president of Gamma Pyro Lupus Sorority Incorporated. Madam President, yes.
Hi, Antoinette. How are you? Thank you.
Hi.
I wasn't gonna talk because I'm working in the background and I haven't been able to work, so I was trying to take advantage of the situation. But I did want to thank you for coming on today. And my camera's off because I don't look presentable. But anyway, I want to thank you for coming on today and giving us your knowledge. I do have a question because I know that what works for some doesn't work for others. And for
Absolutely.
like your Rejuvenate pack, it has turmeric in it. And I'm willing to try pretty much anything to try to find something that can help control my lupus. I
Right.
even went through having weight loss surgery and I didn't have a flare for a year and a half and it was great. It was wonderful. But I tried to follow the Dr. Sebi regimen and I found out I was allergic to turmeric.
hmm
So I was just trying to see, is there something that can be supplemented with your Rejuvenate pack in place of the turmeric, or can the turmeric just be removed and then you just take the rest?
So, well, I don't have like a substitution because that is actually the pack. That's how it's sold just like that. I know a lot of other people, I think this guy that I know, he buys the pack often, but he actually can't have burdock root. So, I mean, he still takes the pack, but he just takes the burdock root out. I'm not sure
Okay.
what he does with it, but so like I don't really have a substitution for it. I mean, but the one thing I do offer is all those supplements except for the vegan omega-3, it's not separate, are the well, you don't take turmeric, sorry. I do have the sea moss, the bladderwrack, and the burdock root. You can buy individually if you wanted to. And if you did want to buy it individually, I actually have it's all of them combined together. It's called Sea Moss Essentials. And that's the sea moss, the bladderwrack, and the burdock root. Just in case you can't take the turmeric. And to be honest, turmeric and bladderwrack is kind of like head and head because it still is the benefits are still just like the same. It's still going to be good for inflammation. It's still going to be for joint health. So if you want to, you could just go straight with bladderwrack instead of turmeric.
Okay. And because I've taken bladderwrack before and haven't had any issues. You also have a release pack, right? Without
Yes.
the turmeric. So I can possibly do the release and then add the vegan omega-3.
But I don't have vegan omega-3 by itself. Vegan omega-3, yep. Vegan omega-3 is only in the Rejuvenate pack. And I'm glad that you brought up the release because I meant to say this, but I didn't say it. The release is really good too, because if you're trying to do cleanse and detoxing, in which everybody, if you don't know, you're supposed to cleanse and detox your body from, every 3 to 4 months. And which that's really good for you because you got to release all the toxins. And I'm talking about people too, people drinking, whatever it may be that's toxic within your body. It's good to release it every 3 to 4 months. So the release is actually really good for that. And then there's other pills that's in the release, like the black walnut hull, the clove, and the wormwood. That's really good for releasing like parasites within your body as well. So if you did get released, it would be geared towards like straight to cleansing and detoxing the body. And like within that time, you should stay away from the stuff that causes inflammation. So your milk, your dairies, your cheese, and stuff like that.
I have one more question. So because I kind of got on late and I don't know if you discussed this, so I apologize if you did discuss this. So I have a question. Have you ever done, like when you were going through the process of trying to cleanse your body and release the toxins, have you ever followed the autoimmune protocol where you have you heard about that?
No. That's what I was supposed to ask you. What is that?
So there is a book, you guys. It's called the Autoimmune Protocol. And I know that some people with lupus, and I'm giving this because I'm doing a talk next month, but we'll talk about it now because you have gone through detoxing your body. So it's called the Autoimmune Protocol. I don't have it in front of me and who the author is, but you can Google it. There's different books on Amazon in regards to this. But I know that some people with lupus truly believe that some things that they eat, I've never experienced this, but they believe that some things that they eat trigger their flares. And so this book lays it all out for you. And basically it shows you how to eliminate different foods. Like you start from ground zero and it shows you the process of eliminating different foods and then reintroducing them to your body so you can find out what may be a flare trigger.
Right.
Like the young lady that I have a young lady, she has to be like 20 years old now, but she's the one that taught me about it. And she found out that one of her flare triggers was avocados.
Ooh.
And so, everybody's like, oh, eat avocado, eat avocado, eat avocado. It's good for your body. But that was her flare trigger. And the way she found out was because of the autoimmune protocol.
See, and everyone, and I'm glad you said that, like everyone's body is different. So it's like what I can have, you can't have, and vice versa. So that's why I always say, or like I said before, it's important that you be in tune with your body, in tune with yourself. Because it's like if you're not trying these things out or seeing certain things that cause inflammation, because I know like me with dairy, with cheese, my stomach, oh no, ma'am. My stomach afterwards, and I do it in moderation, but it's just like I already know that. But I already know it's gonna cause like little issues and stuff like that. But everything is in moderation. So I'm glad you said that book. I'm definitely gonna pick up that book for myself just so I could be a little bit more knowledgeable about the book, and I like reading anyways. But yes, like you said, like there's different things that triggers like, but most of the time it is like the foods that cause inflammation are like certain things that you're speaking of that's probably in that book too.
Absolutely. And everybody is different because
what's it called? The
autoimmune profile, AIP. Protocol. Autoimmune protocol.
Okay, let me try to remember that. Autoimmune protocol. Okay.
And I mean, because I had to tell somebody that too, because we were in a support group meeting and one of the attendees was telling everybody, oh, you can't eat seafood. We can't eat seafood. People with lupus can't eat seafood because it triggers us. And I had to tell her, I said, listen, there are certain groups that are considered groups that may cause inflammation, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it causes inflammation for everybody. Because for me, I eat seafood and it doesn't cause inflammation for me. So I'm the same way. I tell everybody, no two lupus cases are the same. No two illnesses are the same. What works for you may not work for me, but I'm willing to try anything to see if it does work. But you can't preach to everybody that what's working for you is going to automatically work for them, because that is not the truth.
Absolutely. And then like, you know how they say, I don't know if you heard it, but you know how they say that you're not, lupus people with lupus are not supposed to be having eggplant and tomatoes because it's a nightshade vegetable. And I'm like, I eat tomatoes all the time with my salads, or I eat tomato sauce, and stuff like that. But that's why it's just so important. Like you just got to know your body. You just got to know your body and what you're taking in, because everybody's body is so different. I don't even care if you're healthy, illness, whatever it may be. We're still all different, but it's up to you to figure that out. Like, what you can and you can't take.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Can't wait to read this book now.
Thank you for that, Madam President.
Please text me that book because I just forgot already. Brain fog.
Okay. I'll make sure that you get that. I also put your information in the chat as well. So tell us, do you have anything coming up that we can look forward to outside of the wonderful things that you're doing already?
So right now, I don't really have anything. I do have it's two other Lupus Warriors, and it's kind of like a group. You might as well say it's an intimate social gathering. It's full of women, of course, and it's called Her. And I'm sorry, it's called Affirm Her, and Affirm Her means, oh gosh, healing, energy renewed. And so we'll be meeting once a month. I think the next one probably is going to be July 23rd, but I'll have it on my Instagram where people can see the dates and times that we'll be having it. But it's really nice. We just had our first one a couple weeks ago, and it was just really good. A lot of people came in. Some people have illnesses. Some people just wanted to come in. It's just like a safe haven where we just sit and we discuss certain things that helps with your mind, body, and spirit, and just basically healing energy and renewed. So, you know, I would love to see you guys to come out at $7. And it's just fun. It's just full of women, full of light and love and hugs. And, you know, you never know what someone's going through. So that's one thing that I'm doing. And I think that's about it right now. I'll probably have some more stuff coming into like the fall and stuff like that, and different events or speaking engagements. But if you follow me, you'll see all that. And that's about it.
Can we,
Okay.
Antoinette, can Chandra like screenshot or steal your flyer for that event so we can help promote within our sorority? And I also run Colors of Lupus Nevada, so these little educational forums is a joint venture between Colors of Lupus Nevada and the sorority. So if we can promote your events on our website and on our social media with your permission, we definitely will do that.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I know the first one, it was like it was three, well, it was a total of 7 people, but we're grateful. We're so grateful because we want to make sure it's still, you know, intimate, so people be able to share their stories or whatever it is that they need to release. That's where they're gonna come in to release. So definitely, once we find out when the next one is, I will definitely send it over.
Thank you. Thank you. Sounds good. Sounds good. If there aren't any more questions, all right. So again, we appreciate you all for taking the time today to join us. For those of you who don't know, we are Gamma Pi Rho Lupus Sorority Incorporated, and we are a group of like-minded women who all suffer from lupus, amongst other illnesses. We have come together to be advocates and raise awareness to this terrible disease, so more people can know lupus, to say no lupus. You can find us on our homepage at GPRSororityInc.org and on social media platforms like Gamma Pi Rho Lupus Sorority Incorporated, and see all the fascinating things that we are doing in the community and see what else there is to come. If you know anyone who has lupus, or a family member or a friend who has lost someone to lupus, reach out to us. Get in touch with us, even if it's just for a membership. We are always welcoming women over 18 who has lupus to our sorority. And we also have auxiliaries called Dimes and Seals. Seals is for friends and family members or someone who has lupus, and it's like a support group. That way, you know, you'll have someone to get through, right? And then we also have the Dimes, and that's for women under the age of 17. And that's like a mentorship program for women, young ladies with lupus. So reach out to us. Like I say, we are trying to do big things in the community, and we would love your support. And thank you all. And from the entire sorority, as you say, Miss Antoinette, everything starts with a seed. It takes nurturing, dedication, time, and patience for things to blossom. So you all keep growing, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We really do appreciate you taking the time today to speak with us. And it was very informative, as Madam President said, and this is not the end. We will continue to keep in touch, and let's go out there and help others find a cure, or let us find a cure, or, you know, let's get through this thing together, because that's what it's all about at the end.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
All right,
have a good day, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for logging on, everyone.
Bye.
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 Thanks for logging on. Bye.
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 Thanks for logging on.
Love you, Chandra.
Love you too. Thanks, Pause. Bye.
Bye.